everyone. Welcome to our episode 10 of the HE Lounge webinar series. And I would like to say to everyone, hope you are keeping well in these COVID times, and hope everyone is safe. Let's mask up and ensure that we are all vaccinated. It is a personal choice, but at some time we have to consider that decision. For special thanks to Teo Center for Learning in NASA, as well as Zayosh supporting us and making these sessions a success. Thank you for your support. So in our today's agenda, we're going to start off with a selfish Toolbox talk titled In the Long Run. Then we'll jump into the main topic, that is workplace economics, and we have a guest presenter for that. Mr. Darlington Marara. Mr. Darlington Marara, how are you? Are you there?
I teach. Yes, I'm there. Finally, I'm in. Can you hear me from my side?
Yes, I can. Thank you, sir. Looking forward for a great discussion. So, Mr. Darlington Marara is going to be our guest presenter on the topic workplace economics. And for a few housekeeping rules, if you are not presenting or contributing, you should mute your microphone to avoid background noise. And also, it's a personal decision to turn on your video or turn off. And also, for other comments, answers, you can use the chat. Then I will show notification. So let's start. If I can quickly share my screen on that. So as I said before, our Toolbox talk today is entitled In the Long Run. We are talking about the future of everyone in terms of health and safety. So just a few alarming facts about the subject. According to WHO, 63% of all deaths worldwide are chronic conditions. And these chronic diseases constitute a major cause of mortality, and it attributes 38 million deaths a year. And in Zimbabwe, approximately 40% of adults have at least 2 chronic conditions. So it's actually bad how these chronic conditions are taking lives worldwide, globally, as well as in Zimbabwe. So what are chronic conditions? The definition of chronic condition is a human health condition or disease that is persistent. That is, it has cumulative effects in your body, and it is also long-lasting in its effect. So whenever it manifests, whenever that condition manifests, it takes a long period in your body, and also that disease can come with time. As I highlighted, it has cumulative effect. You may be exposed to the hazards today, but those hazards will then manifest after maybe 3 or 5 years. That we define that as a chronic condition. And also, it is mainly associated with non-communicable diseases. So, mainly those diseases that don't have causative agents, for example, diabetes, cancer, etc. And these chronic conditions are mainly caused by a combination of factors. And some of these factors include genetics. I guess everyone has that there's a certain disease that runs with the family. Those are some of the diseases which we refer to as chronic conditions. And also, another risk factor for these conditions is age. At times you are exposed to certain hazards at a young age. During your 30s, your 20s at work, but then the effects will manifest later in life, when you are 60, when you are 70, when your immune system is deteriorating. That's when these conditions tend to manifest. And also another risk factor is gender. A certain conditions that are found in men that are not also found in women, and also the environment that you are working on is another risk factor for these conditions. And another risk factor is your dietary lifestyle. What you eat every day, what you eat in your diet is a risk factor that can contribute to the manifestation of these chronic condition. And also your behavior, as well as the social factors, that is the things that surround you in your life. And so the main objective of this Toolbox talk is to just shed light in preparation of the main topic, so that when we will be discussing about workplace economics, you know why we are mainly concerned about those, because many of the effects of economics tend to manifest in the long run, maybe after 5 or 6 years. So people don't consider controlling or preventing such hazards, because they don't see the immediate effect of preventing them. So that's why we are discussing about these chronic conditions in our Toolbox talk. And the common conditions that are there, one of them is diabetes, and another one is hypertension. It's also a chronic condition, and musculoskeletal disorders. These are mainly conditions to do with the limbs, the joints. I guess everyone has ever experienced your grandpa or your grandma always complaining about their back, about their legs, about their joints. And whenever they consult a nurse or whenever they consult a doctor, the first thing they are asked is, what were you doing in life? What was your main job? It's because they know that the activities that you were partaking in are the risk factors that has contributed to these disorders. So it is better to control or prevent or avoid such exposed to. If you are exposed to certain fumes, maybe work in a laboratory, maybe you work with radiation, you are also.
So it looks like we are having a technical glitch with this there. He's been talking about chronic conditions. It's true. We have all at some point experienced. Oh, he's back now. Are you with us now?
Unfortunately, my PC is now disconnected, so I can no longer share with my presentation. But I was talking about the common conditions that we have. And another one is respiratory diseases. For example, asthma and tuberculosis. It's another example of chronic condition that we may experience, and also cardiovascular diseases such as heart failure, heart attacks, strokes, etc. And if you are exposed to excessive noise, one of the chronic conditions that can manifest in your life is deafness or hearing impairment. If you ever seen people working with grinding mills, mainly shown and termed as chigayo, usually those people, whenever they are away from their working places, whenever you are talking to them, they tend to shout everywhere that they will speak, because they will think you won't be hearing because of the deafness or hearing impairment that they've experienced because of their work nature. And another example of these common conditions is also obesity. This mainly affects people who work in offices. You are always seated at your chair, maybe 8 hours or maybe 6 to 7 hours, no exercise. You move on from your office, you go into your car, you went home, you just sleep, no exercise, no physical activities. And your can lead to obesity in the long run. So how can we prevent these chronic injuries? to prevent these, one of the measures that we can take to prevent this chronic condition is whenever you are employed at your work, I guess everyone goes through medical assessments. Where your medical condition is assessed by professional by health professionals, and also this is done to check your health. You are enrolled by a company, and after depending on the company, some have they've retest or reassessment after 3 years or 4 years. That is to check if anything is changing on your body due to certain hazards that you will be exposed at your work, so that they can see if there are certain changes that are needed at their workplace to manage certain hazards, so that their employees are not exposed to those hazards. And another thing is to partake in physical activities. As I have highlighted, most people who work in offices who are always seated, you move from your office, you go into your car, you drive home, you go home, you just sleep, no physical activity. So another way of preventing this chronic condition is to exercise, to have an exercise program, so that you keep your immune system, you keep your body active, and all your muscles active to fight whatever disease or whatever, and to whatever toxic substance that may be in your body. And another preventative measure is to ensure that all economic hazards at our workplaces are managed, and all other hazards, every hazards are managed and are always eliminated, being the first control of the hierarchy of control. So you should ensure that in everything that you are partaking, in every activity that you are partaking, ensure that all the hazards have been assessed, and all the hazards that can be eliminated have been eliminated, and all the controls that can be taken have been considered as a way of to prevent these some of these conditions that man manifest in the long run. Yeah, another prevention control that we can implement is a good diet. Ensure whatever you eat, whatever you take into your body is can promote good health in your body, so that your immune system is always at the right place, and also so that your body can fight whatever toxic substances that may be introduced into it. And another prevention control that we can implement to promote wellness programs in our workplaces. People need to know about these things. People need to be aware about this chronic condition, so that they won't be surprised or whenever you are talking about it, and also so that they can take action to avoid being the victim of these things. So yeah, I would like to thank you for the time that you have given me, and sorry for the glitches that we were having, but that's what I wanted to discuss about chronic conditions, things that manifest in the long run, things that are diseases that affect us after our working years. And so I'm opening this time for any discussions and comments or additions on the subject.
All right, thank you very much for the presentation. Mine is just a comment on how economics actually create a better safety culture. You find out that the efforts that we put actually offer a cumulative effect on developing a stronger safety culture for the company. You discover that healthy employees actually valuable assets in fostering health and safety culture. A good health and safety culture in our company will lead to better performance both for the people and for the organization. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Ranka. Thank you, Ranka. Is there anyone with another comment or addition or any subscription on this subject? Or who would like to share their experiences on their workplaces, what they see, or what they think about this topic? Okay, I can see Chipo, your hand is up. You can come up.
Okay, morning everyone.
Morning, how are you?
I'm well. I've question. I wanted to ask: is there a way that employers can take part in ensuring that there is safety at the workplaces? For example, you look at those that are in the construction industry; they experience a lot of heart problems and breathing problems due to exposure to dangerous chemicals and substances such as cement and other substances that may be dangerous during their work in the construction industry. So that was my question to say, how can employers also come into play in assisting in that? Thank you.
Thank you, Chico, for that question. I'll answer it. My thinking. For every safety management system in every workplace, there should be committee that has certain representatives from different departments in your workplaces, and that allows everyone's opinions or everyone's issues to be addressed from different departments. So every company or every organization should ensure that they have these committees, so that if employees are having issues, they will then address the issues through that committee, and it will be taken up to the management, and the certain steps will be taken. That's my thinking on that. And every employee also have a right to speak up when it comes to occupational health and safety, because it is considered a personal issue, because those hazards that you are being exposed to, they affect you, and if you just comply with the work conditions and don't comply, and then you don't complain, you are the one who suffers. So you have to ensure that you speak up, but you have to use the right channels to address such issues. That's my thinking. Is there anyone with another question? Yes, Mr. Kajigamadari, I can see your hand up.
Hi, teacher and everyone. I just wanted to add on to what you said. I think it was Chipo who asked the question about what can employers do in the construction industry. Mm-hmm. In most countries, employers, they don't have a choice because they have a legal obligation to look after their employees in terms of health and safety. So in most you will find that the legal obligations is the basis for providing health and safety in the organization. And then obviously on top of that, like you said, it depends on whether the organization has management systems in place. But I think the basic answer is that yes, there is a legal obligation, and on top of that, there is also a moral obligation for the employer to look after their employees. And then it's up to them what kind of tools they are going to use to meet the requirements of the country laws, be it different management systems that they can apply. So that's what I wanted to add.
Thank you, Mr. Kajigamadari, for that addition. I guess you have been answered.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much for your responses. That's what I wanted to get clarity on, because you do realize that some companies might actually have the legal obligation to do it, but in practice on the ground they might not implement it. For example, you look at those some are still small to medium enterprises. Maybe they might not be able to afford probably in the safety way for the employees, and you end up seeing that employees end up getting infected with a lot of diseases like TB and all. So I think there's need for them to be monitored as well, especially those that are still starting. Some might not have enough money to do that, or they might want to save on their budget, but at the risk of the employees or the workers who are directly involved in the production.
Yeah, that's true, Chipo. It's something that most companies are facing. Most employees are facing. Usually, in most companies, they go with the motto comply and complain later. You just have to do the job. Whether you see it's too risky, whether you see it's too hazardous, but you just have to do the job. And other issue, people are afraid to complain because they think they might lose their jobs. But we have to address these issues. That's why we have to ensure measures are taken to avoid such situations, to ensure that employees speak up of any issues that they are facing. And as employers, as it has been highlighted, you have the obligation to ensure the safety of your employees, to ensure the well-being of all employees. So you should take certain measures and assess and eliminate all the hazards that are in your workplaces. I can see there are people in the comment section who are saying wellness programs are still important in workplace, and now we are working from home. Individuals should be international about their wellness and health. Yeah, that's true. And there's this other comment from my peers saying, unfortunately, I cannot use my mic. I have a question. As a country, how best can we ensure that there is safety in the informal sector, for example, in the informal mining sector? Is there anyone who would like to take on that? Yes, Ndlovu, I can see your hand is up.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I wanted to add on the previous question in terms of like, as you said, teacher, that companies need to make sure that they comply with the regulatory bodies and also the health and safety regulations. But also I wanted to add to say health and safety, it's a culture. So the other thing that companies need to do is to encourage that culture to be safe, especially by employees. Because, like, for example, if you are working in a construction company, normally the employees will be all about, I'm here at work, I want to do my job, I want to finish at the end of the day, and then after that I go home. So if we continuously encourage that culture to say, you need to take a responsibility as an employee to be safe and to make sure that you comply with the safety measures and the procedures that are into place. And that is continuous. Human beings have got this tendency sometimes to forget or to be negligent. So that culture has to be continuous.
Thank you for that contribution, Ms. Ndlovu. She was speaking about safety culture in our workplaces. Yeah, culture is a very important aspect. Is a very important aspect in our workplaces, and everyone must ensure that in our workplaces we have a positive culture. The way we believe, the way the norm of doing our things at work should always promote safety and ensure everyone goes home the way they came at work. Thank you for that, Ms. Lovo. Mr. Kadigamadare, you can see your hand is up.
Yes, Teach. Just two quick ones. The first one is just a follow-on on Ms. Glover's contribution. Yes, we talk about, a lot of organizations talk about the safety culture in the organization, or HSC culture, whichever way you call it. But further than that, it depends what we call the organizational culture, because you cannot have a safety culture in isolation. So it depends on the culture of the organization. I have seen organizations that preach safety culture, but if you look at other things like people management, they're very poor people management programs, or maybe they don't pay tax, for example. So it means that you don't have a culture as an organization of compliance. So you cannot only be talking about the safety culture. You need to look at other factors around the organization. So I've seen a lot of managers, yeah, they go, yeah, our safety culture is poor. But when you look at other functions of the organization, there's no culture of compliance. So we need to, as HSC professionals, we need to broaden our view when we talk about safety culture as well. We need to look at the broader picture. What are the other issues in the organization? Or how are the other issues in the organizations being managed? So that also plays, it influences the outcome when it comes to safety performance. And then the other one, I think someone asked about what can be done about safety management systems in informal sector, if I remember well, like illegal mining and all those things. That one is a tough one to crack, to be honest, because the bottom line is it requires political will to do it. So if there's no political will to address it, it's going to be difficult for anyone. So because the first thing we ask is who is responsible for them, who is accountable when something goes wrong. I think we have had a lot of incidents in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, where illegal miners die, for example. Have you ever had anyone taking responsibility? No, even the government itself. So where there's no political will, it will be very difficult. And there's always also sometimes conflict of interest, because it's the same people that are supposed to ensure that the health and safety standards are implemented and maintained, which is the government. Sometimes some of their officials are also involved behind the door. So there could be conflict of interest. So it will be very difficult. So unless there is political will, it will be very difficult to address, unfortunately. And we will continue to lose lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kadigamadare, for that contribution. Yeah, I guess everyone has been answered. Is there anyone who would like to say something before we move on to the main topic? Okay, I guess that's it about the Toolbox talk.